You've been leaking power for years, and the worst part is you called it being polite. It's that moment your phone lights up with a message you already know will ruin your mood. It's that family member who pokes at you at dinner, then watches you scramble to explain yourself. Here's the wound. Every time you respond to someone who didn't earn access to you, you pay them in attention. And attention is the one currency you never get back. In a minute, I'm going to show you the one sentence that ends most power games on the spot. And once you hear it, you'll stop donating your peace to people who never deserved it. But first, you need the frame, because ignoring people isn't about being cruel. It's about being sovereign. It's choosing where your mind goes, instead of letting other people drag it around. Machiavelli watched leaders rise and fall, and he noticed a pattern that still runs your life today. The person who chases approval becomes easy to steer. The person who can withdraw stays hard to control. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is a filter. When you answer every jab, you teach people your emotions are available on demand. When you argue with every critic, you announce insecurity without saying the word. But when you don't bite, you remove the reward, and most people can't handle that. Most provocations are not conversations. They're fishing trips for your attention. Somebody throws a hook into the water of your focus, and they wait for you to react. If you respond fast, they learn the exact bait that works on you. Your attention is not a charity. Think about the modern royal court. It's not a palace, it's a group chat. One person drops a passive-aggressive comment, a second piles on with a joke. And suddenly, you're typing like you're fighting for your name on live television. What do you get when it's over? Not respect, not peace, just the same cycle next week. The first rule of power is simple. Do not train people to access you through disrespect. When you treat attention like gold, your whole social world starts to reorganize. There's a difference between being absent because you're scared and being strategically withdrawn. Strategic withdrawal is being present, but not emotionally available for nonsense. You're in the meeting, but you're not arguing in circles. You see the bait and refuse the trap. That's the art. You hear the tone, and you refuse to match it. Machiavelli had an image for power. Be like the fox and the lion. The fox sees traps early. The lion doesn't waste energy on fights that don't matter. Most of us get stuck as the third animal. The dog chasing every car, exhausted and still not respected. If you want your life calmer and more controlled, you have to stop being trainable. Here's what happens in their mind when you don't react. They expected a predictable exchange. They press, you respond. They poke, you flinch. They guilt you, you explain. That's the loop. When you break the loop, they don't get closure or that hit of I still matter. They replay the interaction, searching for the lever that used to work. Silence feels loud because it forces them to sit with themselves. When you stop reacting, you stop being easy to read, and manipulation needs a button. Silence hides the buttons. Warning: do not use silence to punish people who are trying to repair in good faith. If someone is respectful and you care, talk. Strategic ignoring is for manipulation and bad faith. So who deserves your silence? Start with 3 categories. First, the enemy, the person who smiles in front of you and undermines you behind your back. Responding is oxygen. You make them important and announce you're disturbed. Silence is how you starve a fire. Second, the critic, the person who builds nothing but reviews everything. They want you down in the comments swinging at shadows because defense keeps you small. Let them talk. Your results can do the speaking. Third, the energy vampire, constant problems, endless drama, and they expect your emotional labor. They don't respect your time because they don't value their own, and they'll rent space in your head. Every reaction you give to an unworthy person is energy stolen from your purpose. Think of the last argument that changed nothing, how many minutes it cost, and how long you replayed it. That's not just a conversation, that's a tax. The hard part isn't the strategy, it's the discipline in your body. Your chest tightens, your jaw locks, Your mind writes a perfect speech you must deliver right now. That impulse is exactly what people exploit because it makes you predictable. The goal isn't numbness, it's choice. You can feel the wave and still choose your action. The Stoics called it apatheia, and Machiavelli would call it skill, cold competence over yourself. Here's how you train it without turning into a robot. Step 1 is the pause. 3 seconds, breathe in, breathe out, buy back your choice. Then ask one question: what would a calm person do right now? Not a tough person, not a ruthless person, a calm person, because calm is hard to manipulate. If the answer is respond, respond. If it's wait, wait. If it's no response, stop. Ignoring doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you refuse to sponsor the feeling with behavior. Practice with low stakes, a snide comment, no defense, no laugh, no explanation. Let silence land. Look like you didn't fully understand what they meant, then return to what you were doing. That forces them to own their words. They either clarify and look petty, or they drop it. Most power games now happen through screens, so you need a digital version of discipline. Write the reply you want to send. Put it in your notes. Do not send it. Walk away for 10 minutes, then read it like it was written by someone else. You'll notice you weren't answering the message. You were answering anxiety about how you'll be seen. That anxiety is the leash, and we're going to cut it. In work settings, not every Slack ping is urgent. Fast responses can be a form of surrender. Build a response window. Check messages a small number of times per day and stick to it. If it's truly urgent, they'll call. If it's not, it can wait. That's how you stop being on demand. The first week feels uncomfortable. Guilt shows up, but guilt is often a training scar. When they ask, "Did you see my message?" answer calmly, "Yes, I'll respond when I'm free." No apology, no scramble, just a fact, because you're allowed to have a life that isn't on demand. Now the sentence I promised, the one that ends most power games: "I'm not available for this." Say it once. No speech, no backstory, because it shuts down the frame instead of arguing details. If they push, repeat it even calmer. "I'm not available for this," then exit. Change the subject, end the call, stop typing. You are not obligated to attend invitations to conflict. Some will call it cold, but what they mean is they preferred you when you are easier to steer. This is the shift. Stop trying to be understood by people who benefit from misunderstanding you. Every interaction is social chess. Most people move impulsively, trading time for temporary relief. You don't have to win every move. You just have to stop making losing moves automatically. When you withdraw strategically, you force them to choose their next move without your help. Silence doesn't just protect you, it exposes people, because patterns show when you stop feeding them. In relationships, leverage belongs to the person who can walk away from bad dynamics without begging. In business, neediness is loud and options are quiet. Pauses communicate you are not desperate. The real enemy isn't the critic, it's your need to be approved of. That need is a leash. It makes you rehearse conversations and over-explain to earn peace. If you can break the leash, you become difficult to control because you stop needing the last word. So here's the system. Without a system, you guess, and guessing pulls you back into reacting. First, run the good faith filter. Are they trying to solve something, or are they trying to win something? Good faith sounds specific and open. Bad faith sounds vague, pressuring, and built to trigger defense. If it's good faith and you care, talk. If it's bad faith, withdraw. That's self-protection. Second, pick your lane. You only get 3 choices: engage, delay, or exit. Engage means short and direct. Delay means you refuse to answer in the heat. Exit means you remove fuel. People lose power by mixing all 3. An emotional reply, excuses, and a dramatic goodbye. Now the 3 levels of withdrawal give you clean escalation without a soap opera. Level 1 is the pause. You slow down, stop instant replies, and give your nervous system space. In person, It's "I'll think about that," and back to what you were doing. It's a seatbelt, not punishment. Level 2 is distance. A pattern is clear, so you stop offering easy access and stop over-explaining. You shorten calls, keep tone flat, keep words clean, and become professionally boring at work. Level 3 is the door. The relationship isn't safe for your mind, so you mute, block, and stop showing up. Level 3 isn't the goal. The goal is to rarely need it, but willingness to use it changes your posture. The mistake that turns ignoring into self-sabotage is inconsistency. If you ignore, then return with a long, guilty explanation, you taught them pressure works. That's how people train you to cave. They poke, you resist, they poke harder, you give in. Now they know the volume. Your rule is boring consistency. If you delay, you delay. If you exit, you exit. If you close the door, you keep it closed. Consistency isn't harsh, it's clear. You can be kind and still be unavailable. Clean scripts that don't invite debate start with, "I'm not available for this." Then you stop typing. If they demand a talk now, say, "Not in the heat of it, we can talk later," and only do it if it's respectful. At work, say, "Send it to me in writing," because anger loves ambiguity and writing kills ambiguity. If they keep circling, say, "I've said what I'm going to say," because you don't owe endless access. A softer line still holds. "I hear you. I'm going to take a beat." Then you actually take the beat. When you stop feeding a power game, bad faith people rarely accept it quietly. They test and escalate. 4 moves show up: guilt wave, anger spike, smear campaign, and sudden sweetness. The guilt wave sounds wounded. "I guess I don't matter," but it's not a request, it's a leash. Answer with calm repetition. "I'm not available for this," or "We can talk when it's respectful." Then silence. The anger spike tries to make you match their energy, but their goal is reaction, not resolution. You go quieter, slow down, end the call, leave the room, because removing fuel ends the show. The smear runs to other people to create social pressure, and if you defend yourself everywhere, you get dragged back. Use one calm line once. "I'm not doing drama. I'm focusing on my life." Then return to your work. People who know you will recognize calm versus chaos, and strangers were never your jury anyway. The sudden sweetness can be real repair or a reset button, so you watch behavior change before you buy the sugar. Warmth is earned, access is earned, and consistency is the receipt. In the moment, use a tiny routine, label it, slow your body, choose the lane, then do it without commentary. Label it as bait or pressure. Relax your jaw, breathe out longer than in, then engage, delay, or exit. If you engage, keep it 1 paragraph. If you delay, set a time. If you exit, exit clean. Then redirect attention immediately, because if you withdraw and stare at the phone, you're still paying with rumination. Stand up, water, short walk, quick movement, then do 1 task that builds your life. Teach your brain a new association. Provocation does not equal obsession. Provocation equals return to purpose. Scenario 1, family table. A comment designed to poke. New you pauses, sips water, says interesting, and pivots to a real question. You didn't punish them. You refused the game, and the room feels the difference. Scenario 2, coworker corners you with drama. You say, "I've got to focus." Send details in an email, then turn back to work. If they only wanted to vent, the email never comes, and your boundary did the sorting for you. Scenario 3, draining friend. You say, "I can talk for 10 minutes. Set a timer, and when it ends, you leave clean. When they push one more thing, you hold the line. You're not ending friendship, you're ending entitlement. Scenario 4, early dating. Hot and cold energy. Don't chase clarity from the cold version. Don't send paragraphs. Match consistency and move forward. If they want access, they'll show consistency. If they don't, you got your answer without begging. Scenario 5, internet hate, ask good faith or public fight. Leave one calm line for the audience or ignore. Then stop. Strategic silence is not for emergencies or responsibilities. Urgent work gets responses. Respectful repair gets presence. This is not disappearing from life. It's refusing the parts of life designed to drain you. Over time, your reputation changes. You stop being available to be convinced, guilted, or dragged into endless explanations. Some will respect it, some will resent it. The resentful ones often benefited from the old version of you. Let them feel what they feel. You don't have to manage their emotions for them. That's the quiet upgrade. The final transformation isn't turning cold. It's becoming selective without becoming bitter. There's a version that goes wrong. Using silence to make people anxious, playing games. That's insecurity with better branding. Real power looks boring. Calm choices made the same way every time. The goal isn't to make people chase you. It's to stop being chaseable by chaos. Silence is a privilege you grant, not a punishment you give, because punishment keeps you tied to them. Access is earned, judged by behavior, not vibes. Do they respect time, own mistakes, bring solutions, or bring storms? People repeat what works. If quick replies work, they push. If explanations work, they accuse. So you change what works. You become harder to use, and a lot of noise disappears without a confrontation, because you stop being the vending machine. You'll feel the internal fight, because you're breaking a role, peacemaker, dependable one, the smoother of conflicts. When you stop performing the role, you'll want to send one more text to make it okay, but you don't need to prove you're not mad. Use this line: I'm not mad, I'm just not doing that. Then stop, because debating a boundary turns it into negotiation. Build the untouchable version with a gate and 3 rules. Warmth for consistency, silence for bad faith, the door for patterns. Not one bad day, a pattern. And when it's clear, you stop hoping they'll become someone else, and you close the door without a speech. You know you're changing when your body stays calmer. Messages don't spike your heart rate. Comments don't trigger proving. You stop replaying for hours. It's not that people got nicer. It's that you stopped giving them the controls. If someone can trigger you, they can steer you. The trap isn't people disliking you. It's missing the old intensity. Calm can feel empty, so you want to check, reopen, chase closure. Name it as the addiction to reaction, then redirect attention to what builds your life. Because attention is a spotlight, and what you shine it on grows. One move separates amateurs from pros, the neutral exit. I'm going to step away from this conversation now. No sarcasm, no threats, just final. Neutral exit removes fuel and performance. Nothing to fight, nothing to screenshot, nothing to twist. You become boring to manipulate. We live in an attention economy. Every guilt trip and late-night spiral is a bid for your attention. Most people are broke in attention. From now on, your attention goes where it pays you back. Peace, progress, and relationships that don't feel like a test. Some will call you distant. Say you changed. Good. You did. You became someone who has a gate. Silence doesn't make you weak. Silence makes you unbuyable. The easiest person to control needs to be liked, understood, and have the last word. So you let go of the last word. Let behavior be the message. Let results speak, and keep warmth for the people who earned it. Today, pick one situation where you overexplain. Choose the pause, choose the calm, choose the line. I'm not available for this. Then redirect your attention to your purpose. That's how an empire gets built. Not out there, in here. Leave a comment with "I'm untouchable," not as a threat, as a reminder to yourself. And subscribe for more quiet, real-world power skills.